Some breaking news that we just received. Number of unemployment claims filed last week rises to 5.2 million in the tally of unemployed, bringing the total 4 weeks to about 22 million. Now, just to give everybody a perspective of what that means, that is roughly the net number of jobs created in the 9.5-year stretch that began after the last recession and ended with the pandemic's arrival. So it just goes to show you, I mean, literally, think about that. Every job created since 2008, the Great Recession, the so-called, the biggest economic boom, longest economic boom in American history, gone.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
And that equates to roughly 13.5% of the labor force. I mean, you just, you can't even wrap your head around those numbers. And of course, we've been covering here the fact that, look, Congress isn't even here.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have remote voting. They can't do what they've done so far. It's been pathetically inadequate and very much tilted towards the big players. I can tell you my mom has had trouble, and many others have, in terms of being able to get those small business loans to try to keep what they have going. We did not take the approach that many other countries took in terms of, number one, recurring, not just one time, recurring payments so that people have some certainty, and paying the payroll so that people can stay in their jobs, which is not only critical now, but it is also critical in terms of when we do have this thing in hand, when we do start to reopen the economy, how quickly we're able to bounce back. If you have to have this massive reshuffling, restructuring, people trying to find new jobs since they don't have their old jobs, that is going to extend the pain and deepen the pain much, much longer.
Yeah, it is. And I just, we were hopeful on this show about those payroll plans. They're taking Rashida Tlaib and Josh Hawley.
Yeah.
And these other. Guess what? Congress ain't even coming back until May 4th because they said, unless, quote, there's an emergency.
Absent an emergency.
Yeah, I see 22 million emergencies right here. Every person unemployed, emergency. Every small business, emergency. The literal wipeout of generations of wealth, 9.5 years of jobs gone. And everybody's like, oh, don't worry. When things spin back up, it'll be okay. What are you talking about? First of all, life isn't going to be normal for a long time until there's a vaccine. We have therapeutics. In terms of large concert venue, Mayor of LA said yesterday that we may not have concerts until 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means months of economic stagnation. And at the same time, what are we going to do? There's no money. There's literally no money in the financial system. It's like a complete and total freeze up. It's just one of these events which shows you how far removed. Right now, Congress is fighting and has not passed yet a $250 billion extension of the Paycheck Protection Program. They can't even agree on that. And we're not even talking about payroll. We're not talking about a multi-trillion-dollar payroll plan to save all these people and make sure people are being paid. We can't even agree on $250 billion. And if there's ever made a time to despair, I think it's right now.
Yeah, that's the thing is it's depressing on every level. Obviously the health crisis, the economic calamity that millions upon tens of millions of Americans are facing right now is horrific. And then you add the layer on top of that of your government is just sort of failing before your very eyes. Societal collapse in terms of government's ability to deal with this happening before your very eyes as you look at other countries around the world who are managing to put their workers first, who are managing to get these payments out. We talked to Dylan Ratigan yesterday, who's someone that I've known for a long time, who was dead on right about the 2008 crisis. He wrote a great book called Greedy Bastards that you all should check out. I imagine you'll see a lot of parallels throughout the years. But he described UBI as a kind of ventilator for the economic system to be able to keep things moving, keep it alive until we can go back to normal. Are we doing that? No. We're lucky. We're lucky that we were able to get one pathetically inadequate $1,200 payment to come through, and that was it. And then they closed up shop and went home. Yeah. It's unbelievable. And I wish I had any faith that these kinds of numbers, 22 million Americans unemployed, would do anything, but they won't. How many times have we seen these numbers come out and on the very same day the stock market jumps up? And that's all they really care about. They've got all the systems in place to make sure the stock market is doing just fine, but these numbers don't move them one bit.
No, they certainly don't. This is a disaster, and we'll continue to track this story closely. We'll have more Rising for you after this.